Right, here's a good one for you. This is the actual appliance. Right, so go in your web browser and bring out your virtual appliance. I've saved it on the support machine, and then you'll have this icon. Use it, do it via a browser. Root password. So your root password for the Vcenter appliance. Right, now yours is not on domain, mine's on vSphere local but not connected on any domain whatsoever. The information it will give you up the top there with embedded PFC controller, vCenter server appliance, the version which is 7, and your build number, and then you've got the overall view. Everything's basically saying good, it was checked and that. You can have a monitor as well if you like, and monitor the performance and everything like that, what's going on over your disks, your network. So it's finding out every rates you can do. You can also do the database as well. Now it's a built-in database and it looks after itself as set up. So basically it never gets too full. You have to like close it. It's an inbuilt SQL if you like, so I've done that anyway beforehand, so it's never that bad. Access, who has access and what has access. As you can see, secure shell login is enabled. DUI, which is this DCUI, is enabled, so is the console CLI. Now on yours, bash shell is disabled, and you'll probably have SSH disabled as well. This is a security feature. The only reason my 3 are enabled is because I tend to use them and it's a segregated environment. Networking, it tells you everything what it's doing. It also for the proxy settings, so FTP is disabled, HTTP is disabled, and HTTPS is disabled. DNS servers and host name and all the MAC addresses and what it goes, and it gives you the actual IP address on it. Time. Now within your Vcenter, yours is configured on UTC, but it's also got the NTP server, so mine's just getting it from the host, so yours will say UTC center. Services, this is a good one to watch. Now this one here, PSC Health, that's the built-in platform services controller. If any of your hosts or Vcenter doesn't work, 9 times out of 10 it's because this little puppy is either disabled or it's crashed. If HA doesn't work, high availability, you've got that down here as well. Monitoring services, where are we? I did have it earlier on. Oh, high availability, they are. If that's disabled on mine because I'm only run host, yours will be enabled, but if it's ever disabled or it's stopped or it's crashed, turn it back on again, restart the service. You can do implication from that. vSAN Health is automatic. Now I'm using vSAN anyway because I've got a larger data store, but you're not using that. Auto deploy, you're not using anyway. vSAN services, make sure they're all automatic, and what started and what stopped is pretty much a standard. Also the web client, sometimes, I mean, that's automatic, so it's only when it's used. Only when it's used it can call off. If that doesn't work, then usually you can have a look at other bits and pieces from that. It gives you a rough idea of what's going on. Image builder server, a lot of these you don't actually use. There's the actual, that's the best one to look for, the web server, because sometimes that can be a little bit screwy as well. Update, you're not using that, the update. I'm going to do a big one on updates for you so you can do them all, maintain them all infrequent and when you want, so you can do roll-ups and everything like that. Administration, password expiry and password requirements. You can set both those. Syslog, you can have the syslog to send all the syslog information to an FTP server as well. I've got mine set up and it will go to 17, which is my FTP server. At the moment it's saying connection unreachable because that's not on at the moment, but that's quite a good thing. Now this is the important one, backups. As you can see, all of those have worked, and duration and time and date, let's put it in the correct order. October the 29th, so one every day, and it dumps two a day. You can do a manual one, so you could turn around, you'd say you've changed something, you back up now, use the backup location, always click this box as well, and then basically authentication, username and password. From my point of view it will be my FTP server, and I'll start, and that collects stats, everything beforehand. Status enabled, and it's running. The appliance itself is pretty much easy. You can also, as I say, you know, I was saying to you before, go into the appliance and do the shutdown methods. You can also reboot and shut down from here and create a support bundle, as you've got VMware supported anyway. The other way of doing it is to go into the environment, and you can do it on the console, but I find this is the more straightforward. There's about 3 or 4 different directions and ways to actually get into the ESX or the Vcenter or the virtual machines. You don't have to have a virtual machine, as long as the RDP is enabled on the host OS, which you've done it, that's fine. It's not really going to cause a problem, but it's worth having a look at this. It's worth checking it as well. But the important one is the backups, because if the backups work, that's fine. If you ever have to do a restore or anything like that, then obviously you need backups, because you really don't want to start from scratch. It's mostly data and bits and pieces like that anyway, but I'm doing another one that's showing you the restore status. Right, so I'll log out of that one, and that's the Vcenter server appliance.